We're not identifying them, but the mothers you're about to hear from say they had no idea their sons were being sexually assaulted for months. They say they found out about what was happening when another parent sent them a video.
And you can hear kids screaming no, and a lot of get them in the stall, and you can just tell that there was something going on.
Another one talking about how he had just raped somebody.
I heard my son, because I can tell his voice, and I understood that, something was going on. He said, I don't really want to talk to you about it. He said, I want someone else to tell you what's going on. Because he felt ashamed and hurt that it happened, and he couldn't do anything.
3 mothers of Lamar Middle School boys say what happened inside the school locker room in March was only one example of what their sons have been experiencing since last summer.
They was trying to put him in a locker stall where they change at, and was trying to put their finger in his butt. And he, at first, would never admit that it happened. It took a lot for him to tell me that it did happen.
Whenever he was just in his underwear, they would reach up and grab a hold of his stuff. He said that he can't use the bathroom in the locker rooms because they look up underneath the stalls at you or over the top of the stalls, and they try to grab you as you're sitting on the toilet or if you're standing up.
So my son just abruptly quit football. No, he didn't talk to me about it. He just up and quit. And so then I started asking more questions about it, and come to find out he had been messed with, and it started in the summer practices.
He said it was a couple different times, and my son had been in a lot of fights this year, and this is why. He's not the same kid that he was.
My son started wearing shorts under his clothes. Come to find out he was wearing shorts because he didn't want to have to change in front of anybody anymore.
It's very hard. You don't ever want to see your son go through anything like that. He has to go to counseling. He has to get therapy just because of things that has happened to him. And I feel like I failed as a parent.
Whenever I finally found out, I said, why didn't you come to me? He said, Mom, it's embarrassing. Do you know what it's like? You know how big of names we get called if anybody was to find out that it was us?
The mothers say their sons reported what happened.
He actually did say something to a coach when he quit in November, and he was told that he was too small to fight them off anyway. They're still not doing anything about it. Their jobs still aren't being done. The kids are still walking the same hallways as our kids. They're still in the same sports.
They filed a Title IX complaint alleging the boys were being sexually assaulted in school. They also went to police. Right now, that investigation is ongoing, but the Title IX review done by independent consultants recommended 10 days suspension for 3 boys. That led to parents and community members protesting at the school board meeting a few weeks ago. Parents of all of the children involved are appealing the recommended punishment. Ultimately, it's school board members who will decide exactly what action will be taken.
I think they should be expelled. I don't think they should be allowed to play sports. I don't think that they should be in the same public school. That our kids shouldn't have to be the ones that are forced out.
We've not been able to contact the parents of the boys who are accused of assaulting their classmates. And at the last meeting, the attorney who represents the school board said that board members should wait until the Title IX appeals process is over before the board hands down its punishment. And as of right now, there's no word when that appeals process will be over. In Lamar, Brett Rains, 4029 News.